I'd like to call the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of February 20th, 2017 to order. Roll call, please, Donna.
Thorstensen?
Here.
Thomas?
Present.
Hood? Oh, no. Hood. Wilson?
Here.
Ross?
Here.
Garner?
Here.
All present, one absent.
All right, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Trustee Hood did let us know he'd be out of town tonight. First up is public comment. If you'd like to speak, we have a microphone, and if you'd give us your name for the record and volunteer your address.
I am.
I'm trying to figure out right now, just like, Nancy Radford, I'm the administrator of Lake County Teen Court, which you guys support all the time. I'm here tonight to read a letter to you that is part of community service for one of the defendants. I don't know, are you all familiar with Teen Court?
Yes.
Okay, but I don't have to read all that to you. But I'm going to give you these. I've also attached a few other letters. We had an incredible session this month here in the Gurnee Court. We had 3 releases that were almost life-changing for these kids. And I think you need to know about that. The real reason that I'm here is because one of our young defendants, and actually many of our defendants, there's a lot of retail theft from that come through this courtroom. And we used to always have the kids write in a copy letter to the store. And that goes absolutely nowhere because it's loss prevention and they really don't care. So a couple months ago here, we started having the kids write letters to the village, helping them to understand how retail theft hurts the whole community, the whole village. And that's what this letter is. So I wanted to read that to you, but I also attached some of the communities, or not community service, but some of the sentencing from some of the other young people that were here, just for your information. So the letter reads, Dear Village of Gurnee, I would like to sincerely apologize for stealing from Gurnee Mall. I participated in teen court over the last few months, and I learned a lot from my sentence, not only about myself, but also how stealing affects the entire community. At the time I committed my crime, I knew of many people who were committing the same crime, but never had, sometimes they were English or grammar, sometimes great, but never had gotten caught to the same extent. And I never understood how stealing could affect an entire community. After participating in teen court, not only did I understand more of the extent of the effects of stealing in a community, but I also began to stop many of the people I knew of that thought of stealing differently. Hopefully my influences helped change the minds of the people near me, but after committing this crime, I know it changed my mind and opened up my eyes to how it can affect more than just the individual store itself. In the last few months, I learned a lot about making better decisions and how to separate myself from those that don't know how to do so. So overall, I would like to apologize for committing this crime, and also would like you to know that I understand more about the total effects it has on the people around me and my community.
It's a wonderful letter.
The second letter is a young man that had to do the track life skills class, which is one of the options the kids have. It's basically a motivational enhancement, cognitive behavior, decision-making class. So it's more about teaching them about decision-making. So that's what the second one is. I'm not going to read all these to you. That's why I made you copies. Third one is from the third young person that successfully completed. And this is telling what she learned about herself by going through the whole teen court experience. And then finally, our 2 posters that were turned in. The first one, this kid took it like to quick print or something, and had a fancy poster printed about the dangers of social media. And then the bottom one is a life-size outline of himself. But more importantly, he was supposed to do this life-size cutout of what defines him, kind of in an effort to say to him, the one crime that you committed is not who you are. Don't beat yourself up. Don't think you're a horrible person. Don't think you're a criminal. Talk about who you really are and what really defines you. And so that's what, and you really can't read it. Some of the things you can see, the joyful, but he talked about so many different things on here about who he really is to help them understand that. So I just want to thank the village for supporting the program. The chief is now our co-chair of our advisory board. Our old chair stepped down, so now he's the co-chair. And so Chief Woodside is now one of our co-chairs. Very supportive. His police officers are supportive. And we've also started sending a lot of our young defendants to do community service at events. Shop with a Cop. We did the fundraiser they did at the paintball place. And these kids are starting to get out in the community doing positive things, and it's really making a difference. So I want to thank you for the support that you've given us. And I did this just so you guys all knew what we were doing.
This is wonderful and very, very meaningful. You know, instinctively we know it's a good program and we support it, but to actually see evidence from the kids themselves and what they write really tells us we're making a difference, and that helps us. So thank you. That's great.
You got to remember the kids behind the bench that are hearing these cases. When I left this past month, this was just recently, I walked out and said, before you guys go home, think about this tonight. Think about what you did to help these young people that could very easily go back. And so you're helping both sides of it. Not only are you helping the kids that are committing the crimes, but also the kids that are serving as churches. And so I thank you all for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I like that.
I
like the feedback. All right, any other public comment tonight? You have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. I will move on to approval of the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Garner.
Second.
Second by Trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please, Donna.
Thorstensen,
Yes.
Thomas,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
All ayes, one absent.
Motion carries. David, please read the consent agenda into the record.
Okay. Item number 1, approval of minutes from the February 6, 2017 public hearings and regular village board meeting. Item 2, approval of ordinance 2017-09, approving the terms of an agreement between the Village of Gurnee and Call 1. Item number 3, approval of payroll for period ending February 4, 2017 in the amount of $758,754.98. Item number 4, approval of payroll transfer journal for period ending February 4, 2017 in the amount of $748,631.45. Item number 5, approval of bills for the period ending February 20th, 2017 in the amount of $874,419.10.
Thank you, David. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Donna.
Thorstensen,
Yes.
Thomas,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
All ayes, one absent.
All right, and I neglected for the record to say that our Assistant Village Administrator and Community Development Director, David Ziegler, is filling in for Pat Moots tonight. Thank you.
You bet. Anytime.
We're going to move on to petitions and communications. You have one note for tonight.
Yes, recommending canceling of the committee of the whole for next Monday.
And
moved. Second.
I have a motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Ross. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, now you're not getting off the hook completely because Donna will be reaching out to all of you this week to schedule time with Patrick and Brian and Jack, I think, to go over first glance at the budget. So we have the budget ready. We have our first budget hearing March 6th, but this will give you an opportunity to kind of get an overview and some different things for them to explain. So each of you will get scheduled for some time in here with staff on the budget. So that'll be kind of in lieu of the committee of the whole. So look for those phone calls or emails from Donna. Any reports?
No, none at this time.
All right, no old business. So we will move on to new business. First item is approval of Engineering Division's recommendation to award the Grand Avenue water main under the Des Plaines River contract to the low bidder Campanella and Sons at a cost of $306,749.52. David, you want to give more color?
The engineering division opened bids for this project on February 14th. There were 6 bids that were responsive bids that were submitted. The low bidder for the project was Campanella and Sons. And as a reminder, this is a water main replacement project to replace a damaged main that runs underneath the river, the Des Plaines River at Grand Avenue. This has been out of service for about the last year and a half. It's one of 4 locations where we cross the river east to west. So it is a necessary redundant item as far as the potable water system goes.
Will we have to close Grand Avenue at all during the project? One day or
1 lane.
for how long?
Just daytime closures?
1 lane in each direction or just 1 lane?
Westbound, 1 lane westbound.
Okay. It's going to be a difficult summer along Grand Avenue. Okay. Any questions from the trustees?
I just have a question. And this is for you, David. When I look at these bids, and they can go, just as an example, PVC water main, 10-inch drilled. Mm-hmm. Just one of the line items, and the swing is from $85,000 to $208,000.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And how do we know that we're getting a fair price? Even though it's a low bidder.
It's the low bidder. And the contractor usually has some profit and overhead. Technically they're supposed to put the profit and overhead in each line item. Many times they will put their profit and overhead in a single line item that they know is not going to be adjusted. For instance, this one, the 10-inch drilled water main, they know that quantity is not going to change significantly through the course of the project. It is what it is, where some of the other items might flex up and down. So they chose to put their profit and overhead in that 1 line item. So that's why we do it on the way the bids are set up, we do it on a per item method rather than just a lump sum, so that if we do have changes that need to be made in the field, it makes it easier to negotiate those. But that's kind of the way the contractors choose to do it. We evaluated, the bottom line is what we evaluate the responsiveness of the bid, and we assume that contractor A is equal to contractor B based upon the specifications that are laid out in the bid documents. What you see, we get the contract that we send out to the bidders is a substantial document that defines what each of these bid items means and what their responsibilities are for each of those bid items. So it's tied down pretty tightly, but it's just how they want to put their profit and overhead, whether they want to distribute it amongst all of the line items or if they want to just basically tie it into 1 or 2.
So my understanding has always been over the years that we come up with we budget a certain amount of money for these items, mm-hmm. and hopefully they come close to that.
Yes, we do an engineer's estimate based upon our previous experience for what these items have cost us, as well as sometimes we have some unique items. We'll go out to other communities to see what bid prices have been for similar projects elsewhere. And then we create our engineer's estimate based on what we feel is a fair price for the entire project based upon what the trends are in the community and in the area.
So how close was our estimate to the winning bid?
Campanella and Sons is 16% below the engineer's estimate. So I think the $50,000-ish was what we bid. Our estimate was $50,000 higher than the low bid.
Well, flip my wig.
It happens every once in a while. Every once in a while, Scott gets the bid. He doesn't like doing that, but this time, and you can see there's a range. Campanella was, bid it fairly aggressively at $306,000. The high bidder was $652,000. So there's a wide range depending upon what the contractor's availability is, how hungry he is for a project, and travel distances, and a lot of things go into it.
Sometimes they may have another project already in the area, so they don't have to move their equipment as far. So things that we don't necessarily know that they know when they put their bids together, but it doesn't seem to be real scientific, what they bid, so.
You know, we read these things all the time, and we look at it, and I go, man, that is a large swing. And, you know, so good job.
So do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Motion by trustee Garner.
Second.
Second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please, Donna.
Thorstensen,
Yes.
Thomas,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries. That's the only new business we have tonight. I'll reopen the floor for public comment. Anybody'd like to address the board? If not, do I have a sir, if you'd come to the microphone, please, and state your name.
Should be on.
It's mainly for the recording.
My name is Paul Tuzinga, and I live at 3604 Highland. I got a letter from the village stating that they were going to run the water line and the sewer line from Highland at Belle Plaine over west to northwestern on west of Magnolia. And I was just kind of wondering, what is the monetary impact of that going to be to my family?
I'll talk to him offline.
Unless you hook up, right?
Right.
We run the line, but then it's your choice whether you hook up or not. But Scott will talk to you. He's the engineer managing, village engineer, and he's managing that.
Thank you.
Okay? That's easy. All right, do I have a motion
So
to
moved.
adjourn? Motion by
Second.
trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Garner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Too bad there's not a sporting event on tonight.